Launching a nuke is a fun and unique activity that you can do in Fallout 76. The problem is that it sounds a lot harder to do than it really is, so a lot of people don't even touch the nukes or the nuke events. But in this video, I will be showing you how to launch nukes, some great tips to make launching nukes easier, and we'll go over why you need to start launching nukes as soon as you can. I'm gonna try my best to make this as easy as possible for you so you can start using nukes as often as you want. But before we get into this video, if you're a fan of the Fallout games and the Fallout TV show, click the link in the pinned comment below to join my Fallout Discord server, where you can find other people to play Fallout 76 with, discuss the Fallout TV show, or just talk about anything related to Fallout. Before we get into launching nukes, let's go over a few things that I suggest that you get first to make launching nukes easier. First up will be power armor with the Troubleshooter's legendary mod on it. The silos that we'll be using to launch these nukes are full of robot enemies and radiation, so the Troubleshooter's mod will help us take less damage from those robots and turrets, and the power armor itself will protect us from radiation. Next, I highly suggest grabbing the Master Infiltrator legendary perk card and upgrade it as much as you can. This will let us easily lockpick the doors and hack the terminals in the silos. This will be helpful because there are terminals in the silo that you can hack to disable turrets, and with this perk card it will do all of the lockpicking and hacking for you. And then you just want to grab some of your best weapons, ammo for those weapons, and stim packs. There will be a lot of fighting in these silos, so you want to make sure that you have everything that you need for those fights, including extra ammo. Now the first thing that you'll need to do to start launching nukes is join the Enclave and become a general. This will happen towards the end of the main campaign of the game, and it's something that everyone will need to do, and you may have already done this. Once you've completed this, you'll need to go to the Enclave bunker that is under the White Spring Resort. We can easily get there using the White Spring service entrance, and then just follow where I go on screen now. And right here you can use this red terminal to locate silo codes and nuclear keycards. If I'm being honest, no one is using silo codes, because there's a much easier way to launch nukes without using them, and I'm going to show you how to do that when we get to that point. But you will need a nuclear keycard, so using this terminal, select the Initiate Search Nuclear Keycard Escort option. This will spawn a cargo bot into the open world that will be carrying a nuclear keycard, and you will be given a quest called Hide and Seek and Destroy to show you where that cargo bot is. It's pretty easy to take this down, and in the box that it drops you'll find a nuclear keycard. Now that we have a nuclear keycard, we need to figure out where we're going to use it. But more importantly, we need to know where we're able to use it. Before you go to any of the missile silos, you'll want to open up your inventory and go to the holotape section. Then look for the Missile Silo State holotape. Using this holotape will show you which silos are available to be used. Now how this works is that when a missile silo is used to launch a nuke, that silo will need time to cool down before another nuke can be fired from it, and that cooldown time is 3 hours. So as you can see here, someone just launched a nuke from Charlie, and now Charlie can't be used to fire another nuke for 3 hours. But you can swap to another server and see if it's available on that new server. Another thing that you need to know is that you personally go into a 3-hour cooldown when you fire a nuke at a silo. So for example, if I launched a nuke from the Charlie silo, no one on the server would be able to use Charlie for 3 hours, and I would not be able to go to a new server to use Charlie again. Meaning at most you can personally launch 3 nukes every 3 hours. So using this holotape, figure out which silo is available for you to use on your server. If you don't have this holotape, you can purchase it from the vendor at the armory section of the Enclave bunker. Once you pick where you'll launch a nuke from, just go to that site location and look for an elevator at the location that will take you to the silo below. These elevators will be pretty easy to find, but the Alpha silo will be in the middle of the map, Bravo will be in the north of the map between the Toxic Valley and Savage Divide, and Charlie will be in the south of the map between Foundation and the Ash Heap. The interiors and the objectives inside of these silos will all be the same, so none of them will be easier than the other, so just pick whichever one is available to you. When you use the elevator to get into the silo, a quest will pop up for that silo, and tracking it in your quest log will be very helpful, and it will guide you through the silo. Now the first stage of the silo will be the biometric stage. For this, you'll need to look around the rooms around you for a blue keycard. There will be multiple of these in this area, so they shouldn't be too hard to find. While you're doing this, you want to look for a medical room with 2 symptomatic machines inside of it. When you find this room, get out of your power armor and use the symptomatic machine to collect your data. And then bring that data and the blue keycard to this room. That will always be near the entrance of the silo. Swipe the keycard on the keycard eraser, and then use the terminal beside it to fabricate a biometrics ID. This will give you a new keycard that you'll need to swipe on the ID card registration system that will be across from the laser grid in the first room, and then you'll be done with this stage of the silo. But you need to know that robot enemies will keep spawning in these rooms while you're doing this, so make sure that you deal with them when they spawn. The next stage of the silo is the reactor stage. For this stage, you'll need to go to this terminal in the room by the reactor and use the shut down reactor option. Then you'll have 3 minutes to find and repair all of the pipes in the room. These might be tricky the first time that you do this, but you need to run around and listen for the hissing sound that will come out of these pipes. They're yellow and black striped and they're pretty easy to see, but all you need to do is interact with them to repair them. If you're tracking the quest like I suggested you do, the last 3 of them will be highlighted, making them much easier to find. So start by looking for the obvious ones first, then let the quest show you where the trickier ones are hidden. Once you repair all of them, go back to the terminal and restart the reactor to finish this stage. The next stage is the mainframe stage. The first thing that you'll need to do here is use your guns to shoot the computer systems in these rooms to destroy the mainframe. While you're doing this, there will be some enemies that will come to attack you, but it's nothing you won't be able to handle. After you destroy the mainframe, you'll move on to the next room where you'll need to repair the mainframe. To do this, you'll need to take the 15 mainframe cores out of the nearby computer systems. Then bring them to the Tinker's Bench in the maintenance room, and here you can use steel and circuitry to repair those 15 mainframe cores. If you don't want to repair these, you can also find 15 of these mainframe cores hidden throughout this room. And then just take the 15 mainframe cores that you have back to the computer system and put them back into the slots that you took them out of to finish this stage. And now we have the final stage of the silo, which in my opinion is the easiest stage, and that is the launch prep stage. For this stage, all you need to do is use the terminal to initiate the launch prep. This will then make some friendly robots start to spawn in the room to get your nuke ready to be launched. And all you have to do is defend them against the robots that are coming to attack them. This is pretty easy as you just need to run around and kill anything that you see while you wait for the prep to be completed. And then once the prep is done, you'll be ready to launch your nuke. Under the terminal that you use to initiate the launch prep, you'll find 3 stations. The first one is the Nuclear Keycard station, which you'll have to swipe your Nuclear Keycard on. The next station is the Silo Code Station. And like I mentioned earlier, we don't need to get the silo codes to launch nukes, because these codes will be the same for everyone. So instead of hunting these down, you can use the website that I'll link in the pinned comment below to see what the code is for the silo that you're in. And then you can just put that code into the silo code system and you'll be good to go and you won't have to waste any time hunting down the silo codes. And finally, we can use the targeting station to pick where we'll launch our nuke. And as you can see, you can launch a nuke pretty much anywhere, other than these green highlighted areas as they are safe zones. Now there are a couple reasons that you would want to launch a nuke. The biggest reason is to nuke specific areas of the map to start nuke events, which will spawn large nuke world bosses that take multiple people to defeat. These will give you some really good rewards and they're worth farming. For example, the Scorch Beast Queen always gives you one prime receiver weapon plan, which will make the weapon that the plan is for very strong. The 4 locations that you can nuke to spawn nuke world bosses are Fissure Site Prime for the Scorch Beast Queen, Abandoned Mineshaft number 2 for the Ultra Site Titan, Monongah Mine for Earl, and the Skyline Valley region to spawn the Storm Goliaths. The second reason that you would want to use a nuke is because the area that you nuke will turn into a highly radiated area. and the enemies and the plants within that area will all become mutated, and then you can farm them for endgame resources. So you could nuke an enemy dense area like Morgantown to mutate the enemies there to farm them for glowing masses, glowing meat, hardened masses, high radiation fluids, ionized meat, and nuclear material. Or you could nuke somewhere like the White Spring Resort to harvest the plants around the resort to get raw fluxes. Then you can turn them into stable fluxes at a chemistry workbench to use for crafting. If you're planning to use a nuke to get fluxes, you'll want to nuke Watoga to farm violet and crimson flux, White Spring to get yellow cake and fluorescent flux, and Morgantown to get cobalt flux. But just know that nuking an area will damage any player camp that is in that area that you nuke, and it will kill all players in the area as well. And that should be everything that you need to know about launching nukes in Fallout 76. If you're looking for a build to bring into these silos or use against the Nuke World bosses, I highly recommend the build that I used in the footage of this video. I actually just posted a build video for that build on my channel, so I'll put a link to that video in the pinned comment below if you would like to copy it to make the silos a lot easier. But I hope this video helps you, and thank you for watching.